Cat in the Hat has received a brand new trailer that revealed a lot about its story. Did you catch the amazing details hidden in this trailer? When watching a Cat in the Hat movie, you have to be prepared for anything because absolutely anything can happen. However, not even the most prepared person could have imagined the Easter egg that appeared in this trailer. In the background of a scene showing how bad Cat is at his job of entertaining children, you can spot a picture of an elderly woman. The thing is, she's not just any elderly woman. She looks a lot like Granny, a character from Looney Tunes. It's a pretty random reference, but it actually makes sense since the movie is being produced by Warner Brothers, and Warner also owns the rights to the Looney Tunes franchise. Even so, out of all the characters they could have referenced, such as Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck, Granny was definitely one of the least expected. Pretty impressive, right? And keep in mind that this is only the first of 17 details and Easter eggs you didn't notice in the new The Cat in the Hat trailer. So grab your popcorn and get comfy on the couch. Another Cinewave is starting. Unlike the other trailers, this one revealed much more about what's going to happen in the movie. One of the things it introduced was an artifact that will be extremely important to the story, a clock called the Gobacker, whose purpose is to turn back time and fix the messes created by Cat. And this object isn't here by accident. The movie is based on the Cat in the Hat book. At the end of the book, Cat uses a machine to clean up all the chaos caused by his antics. The Gobacker is the movie's version of that machine. The interesting part is that the Gobacker appears to show up near the beginning of the story, and it's going to create more problems than it solves. That's because the child Cat is supposed to help, Gabby, wants to use the device to travel back in time and stop her family from moving away. And judging by what the trailer suggests, the device will end up getting lost in the world of imagination, forcing Cat and the children to embark on an adventure to recover it. Ever since the first teaser, the movie's animation already looked fantastic, but this trailer proved it's much more than that, because the film will feature two different animation styles. The real world uses a slightly more detailed and realistic style, so it's easy to notice the difference when Cat and the children traveling alongside him on this adventure enter the world of imagination, where the animation becomes much more cartoony. This change fits perfectly with the nature of the two different worlds being portrayed in the movie. It's amazing how many recent animated productions are making an effort to explore different visual styles. By the way, do you think most of the movie will take place in the world of imagination or in the real world? Remember when we talked about the Looney Tunes Granny Easter egg? Well, there's one detail we kept hidden from you. Right next to her portrait, there's also an urn displaying her picture. This type of urn is used to hold the ashes of deceased people, which means that Granny has passed away. What a sad detail to find in a children's animated movie. But this isn't the first time a movie like this has hidden something dark in the background. Let's be honest, sometimes children's cartoons include these kinds of Easter eggs so that the next generation can learn what it feels like to be mildly traumatized while watching TV. Of course, a humorous movie like this would have hidden jokes in its backgrounds. At the institute where Cat works, there's a picture on the wall featuring a pie chart. It's the kind of circular graph commonly used in surveys, with each section representing a different group or category. The twist is that every slice of the chart contains the letter I, and right below the graph it says pie chart, because it's a pie chart filled with multiple eyes. With a pun like that, it's hard to know whether to laugh or cry, but that's exactly the kind of very specific joke we should expect from this movie. So, are you excited for the Cat in the Hat too? If so, comment below with #Cat. Cat is pretty funny, but this movie is going to show that he isn't some one-of-a-kind character. Instead, he's just another employee of an organization of magical creatures whose job is to bring joy to children. And the most interesting part is that all of the employees wear red and white striped accessories just like the hat, with the twist being that each one has a different accessory. Come to think of it, this is a little reminiscent of Monsters, Inc., the classic Pixar movie where monsters work for a company, and their job is to scare children in order to collect energy from their screams. The difference here is that Cat and his co-workers do the exact opposite. The Cat in the Hat book has a simple and short story in which Cat appears before two children and teaches them how to have fun. So it was expected that the movie would have to invent quite a few things to expand the story. Even so, some details from the original book were not forgotten, and we can see that when the children are shown looking out the window on the day Cat appears to brighten their day. After all, that is exactly exactly how the book begins. So it's clear that this film was made by people who definitely read the original story, which is great news for anyone hoping for at least a little faithfulness. What about you? What are you expecting from this movie? Do you want it to be as faithful as possible? Or are you simply hoping for a fun and entertaining adventure? As a matter of fact, the two children who will be going on this adventure alongside Kat are named Gabby and Sebastian. But that's a little curious. Even though both of them are based on the main characters from the book, they don't share the same names. In the book, the girl is named Sally instead of Gabby, while the boy doesn't actually have a name at all, mainly because he serves as the narrator of the story. What do you think led the movie to change Sally's name to Gabby? Could it simply be a way of reminding us that, despite everything, this is a brand new story set in a different universe that only takes some inspiration from the original book? One thing that was easy to notice from this trailer is that Gabby is going to have a very hard time accepting the fact that she moved to a new house and a new school, which is a very common struggle for children who move frequently. And one of the reasons she isn't handling the change well is that she used to be part of her school's marching band. In case you don't know, a marching band is the type of musical group that performs in parades and school events, using trombones, drums, and other instruments of that kind. Inside Gabby's moving box, there are pictures of her and her school friends wearing the uniforms typically associated with a marching band. We can also see sheets of music inside that same box. As for Gabby and Sebastian's mother, she doesn't appear much in the trailer, but the little we do see of her offers a possible explanation for why the family moved. After all, the outfit she's wearing looks a lot like the uniform of someone who works in a hospital, such as a doctor or a nurse. The ID badge on her shirt is proof that it's work attire, so it's very likely that she really does work at a hospital. What if she moved with her children because she found a job opportunity in a different city from the one where she used to live? It's a realistic reason and helps explain why she was so determined to make the move, even though Gabby makes it very clear that she's not happy at all about starting life in a new home. It's one of those situations where neither side is really wrong, but our guess is that Gabby will have to learn how to adapt to her new home. The subscribe button is right there, waiting for you. How about clicking and keeping up with everything we post? One of the characters we'll be seeing in this movie is the fish, and the trailer has already made it clear that he's going to have some hilarious lines. But don't think this movie is the one that invented him. In fact, the fish is one of the characters from this franchise who was created all the way back in the very first Cat book, so it makes perfect sense that we'd see him here. Not that we're expecting much logic from a story like The Cat in the Hat, where a cat walks, talks, and can pull absolutely anything out of his hat. Some of the scenes that take place in the world of imagination are so crazy that it's hard to understand how things ended up that way. One scene that perfectly fits what we're talking about is the one where we see several airplanes flying through the sky above Cat. But the really strange part is that not everything flying up there is an airplane. In fact, right in the middle of them, there's a flying shark. It's probably best not to question it, because once we start doing that, we won't be able to stop, and we might end up just as crazy as the Cat in the Hat himself. Another moment that almost certainly takes place in the world of imagination, which appears to be shaped by the character's memories, is the scene where we see a place filled with giant objects. And it's not hard to believe that this location came straight out of the children's minds, because almost all of the giant objects scattered around the environment are school supplies, pencils, books, notebooks, and more. We also see lots of toys here, which makes us think that this specific area came from the mind of Sebastian, Gabby's younger brother, since because of his age, he's probably much more interested in toys than she is. What do you think? Another detail in this scene is that we also see plenty of references to marine animals. There's a shark toy, drawings of other fish, books about fish and ocean life, and more. This strengthens the idea that this area is a reflection of Sebastian's mind. Since he was the one carrying the family fish's aquarium in his own moving box, it's likely that Sebastian is the fish's official owner and has a strong interest in marine life in general. Now, a scene from the world of imagination that clearly reflects Gabby's mind is the one where the characters are standing in front of a school stadium, surrounded by several living musical instruments that behave as if they were the marching band she used to be part of. And for anyone who still had any doubts that Gabby loves that band, we'll actually see her wearing the marching band uniform inside the world of imagination. Well, if they're going to be inside a world made of thoughts, maybe she'll be able to change outfits through sheer willpower. The fun doesn't stop here. There are 2 amazing videos waiting for you on the screen. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.